Since DJI released the more affordable version of the Mini 3 Pro, named simply Mini 3, many users ask me which model is more suitable for their needs. For users interested mostly in video, I certainly suggest to go for the Pro model, due to the crucial extra feature offered. But what about users who are into photography? In this case, things might be different. We will find out in this video. There are several pricing options for the two models, according to the remote controller and to the combo version. You will find all the info in the description below. In all the different options, the basic Mini 3 is about $200 or €200, cheaper than the Pro. The hardware is almost identical in the two models, with only two differences. One of them is very important. The basic Mini 3 is not supplied with a three-dimensional obstacle sensor system of the Pro model. It is certainly a major difference, as obstacle detection is a very important safety issue. But it is more crucial when shooting video, as the aircraft has to perform specific moves while filming. While with photo, the drone is mostly static, which makes it easier to control the environment. Also, the lack of obstacle sensors rules out crucial features for video like tracking and other intelligent modes. The other physical difference between the two models consists in the two small legs below the propellers in the basic Mini 3. This is where the antennas are now, like in the Mini 2. This is probably due to the poor performance of the Mini 3 Pro in terms of signal transmission. The only main fault of this excellent drone, arguably due to the location of the antennas inside the wings. This is probably why the antennas have been repositioned to the previous location. The sensor is the same 1/1.3 inches, and the lens is also identical. Both can save RAW and JPEG files, and the true photo resolution is 12 megapixels. Although the Pro model has a 48 megapixel mode that I will analyze later on. The difference in price between the two models is due mostly to functionalities that have been taken away in the new model. The great majority of them are used only for filming, and I have analyzed them in my comparison of the two models for video. I will put a link at the end of this one. If you find this video interesting, don't hesitate to smash the like button. It really helps to spread the video to more viewers. The settings for photography are basically the same. There are some minor differences. In the Mini 3 there is no burst mode to take several photos in rapid succession, mostly for sport and action. The auto exposure bracketing can take a maximum of 3 photos instead of 5. Panorama photography has 3 of the 4 modes of the Pro model and lacks vertical panorama. The maximum ISO value in the basic Mini 3 is 3200 versus 6400 for the Pro. But this can be dismissed, as both models have excellent capabilities in low light and can take sensational photos at much lower ISO values. A major limitation of the Mini 3 is the lack of the excellent hyperlapse functionalities of the Pro model. As many fans of photography are also addicted to this technique, like me. It is still possible to take time-lapse with a static point of view, using the function timed shots. In theory, it is also possible to add some movement using the stick on the remote controller, after having set the maximum speed to a very low value, achieving a sort of homemade hyperlapse. But the resulting short movie will have some abrupt changes in direction, and the process is incredibly tedious. For someone who is into hyperlapses, the Pro model is the way to go, without any doubts. The 12 megapixel mode is exactly the same in the basic Mini 3 and in the Mini 3 Pro. Let's compare it to the 48 megapixel mode that is only available on the Pro version. 。 The quad-Bayer sensor has a real photo resolution of 12 megapixels, but it is capable of splitting each pixel into 4 smaller ones, thus creating a sort of 48 megapixel resolution. This should be useful to increase the detail and for better results in case of large prints. But the resulting pixels are much smaller, so in theory the ability to gather light should be reduced. Therefore this mode is to be used only in easy light conditions. When the Mini 3 Pro was released, the 48 megapixel images had a bit of extra detail in elements in the background compared to the ones in 12 megapixel. But in high dynamic range scene or in low light, the shadows were a bit too dark and contained a good amount of chromatic noise. Both modes have been constantly improved in different firmware updates. The detail in the 12 megapixel mode has considerably improved, and the shadows in the 48 megapixel mode have now more info and less noise. It is, in my opinion, very hard to find any major differences in these images taken in different light conditions, even in deep crops. So, in my opinion, the lack of the 48 megapixel mode in the basic Mini 3 is not something to worry about, and certainly not a deal breaker. To edit and organize my library of photos, I'm using Luminar Neo. It is an excellent, very affordable program with a host of interesting functionalities, very fast and easy to use. It has a tool to control the small, medium and large detail that works really well and can be applied only to a part of the image using masks. You can watch my detailed video about Luminar Neo by following the link on the screen. You will find info about Luminar in the description, together with a coupon for a discount on the price. And now some more images in 12 megapixel mode. To appreciate the outstanding photo capabilities of both models in low light. Due in part to the extremely wide aperture of f1.7, capable of gathering plenty of light. Both models can take photos in vertical format, useful functionality for extra creativity and for interesting manual panorama. This is obviously a must for users who want to post on social media platforms immediately after shooting. Many of the images that I show here can be downloaded in JPEG format from my blog, www.vicvideopic.com. You will find a link in the description. This blog is about the same topics as my YouTube channel, but they are covered in a more textual way, so it can be very useful when you're looking for quick, precise information. For most users, I strongly suggest going for the Pro model, if they can afford it, due to the very powerful functionalities, which are in most cases useful only when shooting footage. But for the one interested mostly in photography, the basic Mini 3 is an interesting, more affordable alternative to consider, as long as they do without the obstacle avoidance systems and the hyperlapse functionalities. Click on this link to watch the comparison between the two models for video. And don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Thank you.